happening.
Oh, yes.
We're back, David.
We are back.
Hi, everybody in
Hello.
the world out there.
Mm-hmm.
We are the Hardware Hipsters.
Yeah.
We are.
Back for episode 7.
Episode 7, do-over.
Yeah.
We tried to do this episode before. We tried to be all fancy and have like different lighting and 2 camera angles, and it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
So we're back to our roots.
Back to the roots.
Mm-hmm.
1 camera angle.
Yeah.
Just run through.
Exactly. No stopping.
No stopping.
Just go for it.
Yep.
So, today's episode is about what, David?
Today's episode, if you can't tell
By all the
hardware, is and the beer.
and the beer.
Is the black episode.
It is. We're going to be talking about the different types of finishes. We just have seen this big influx of black hardware and black everything, and it kind of lends itself to so many different styles of architecture and interior design that we wanted to kind of go over the different finishes.
Yeah.
And
talk about how they match up across different manufacturers.
Yes, and what each finish means. But before we get into that, our beautiful black can of beer is Vulture Culture. That was hard to say. Vulture Culture double IPA from Counterweight Brewing Company, which is actually in Hamden, which is not very close, not very far from us.
Right, just down the road.
Exactly, and it is a lovely double IPA.
Excellent, yeah.
And it matches our aesthetic today.
I know.
Yeah, which is
a
awesome.
Good beer and black can. It's great.
It's bothering me.
It's okay.
God, it's summer here in Bridgeport. We're having a little bit of a heat wave, so if you hear a fan in the background, that's why.
Yeah.
So do you want to walk us through the types of finishes? What are the options? What do we got?
Well, let's start with powder coating, right?
Yeah, always good.
And first, just black in general, right?
Yeah.
Like you're saying, it lends itself to.
It does.
It can be like industrial finish. It can be a very luxurious finish.
Ultra modern, like we just we see it popping up all the time. It lends itself to everything.
Right.
And I think sometimes people are scared of the color black because they think it's just such like a kind of a downer, but it's not. When you see it in these different style aesthetics, you can see how it totally kind of transforms depending on the application. Especially
with the bigger doors that we're seeing now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice pop of color on a white door. Or a nice wood grain door.
There's either a contrast or it can totally just blend in, you know. And if you are nervous about starting with the color black, the easiest way to kind of introduce that and dip your toe in is with hardware.
That's right, yeah.
Right?
That's the way I would do it.
So powder coating.
Powder coating. Yeah, so powder coating is basically like a painting of a metal finish.
Okay.
Right, of a base metal. And
it's a sprayed.
Yeah, it's a sprayed.
Yeah.
Right. And there's different color schemes or color collections and whatnot. What we see with European hardware, the most common is RAL. It has basically the whole color wheel, color design.
Yeah, chart is a RAL. I didn't know that when I first started, and I kept hearing RAL. I'm like, what is that? Like, I had no idea what it was. And it's a big color chart that every tone has its own number that goes with it. And you can pick, I want RAL 9004 or whatever, and that is a very specific mix of sheen and color, and there's all sorts of different things that kind of go into it. And the good thing about it is it's consistent.
Right, yep.
When you pick that code, you're getting that code.
You know what you're getting.
Yeah, totally.
Exactly, yeah. And I think that's why manufacturers like it so much, because it just gives you consistent product all the time.
It does, yeah, and it's I forgot where I was going with that. It's not that complicated of a process. I say that I'm not a powder coater. I'm sure it's a little bit tougher, but as far as like manufacturing, if you have to send something out to get powder coated, it's a pretty easy process, and the turnaround time is not long at all. So it's ideal for manufacturing. And again, as David said, you can make everything match perfectly. The thing about powder coating too is that if you don't want that metal texture. If you don't want to see it,
Right, yeah.
the powder coating kind of covers over it. Like, we're gonna do close-ups, but like this lever here is from Formani, and it's a black, they're satin black powder coat, which is 9004.
Correct, yep.
And it's just a very matte, flat finish. You don't see any brush texture to the stainless steel, which is what you're going for, which is nice.
Right, yeah. Again, if that's what you're going for.
If that's what you're going for.
Then it's a great finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what else is there?
Well, then we go into the PVD finishes.
Yeah, it's a little bit complicated.
Which is physical. PVD stands for physical vapor deposition.
It's so technical.
It does. It sounds technical.
It is technical.
It is technical. There's a lot about it that I don't understand, but it's a very durable finish because it's almost like a bonding process.
It's true. It doesn't even look like there's anything on the metal. It looks like it's somehow part of it.
A part of the metal, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a great way to describe it.
Thank you. I just came up with that.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it's very durable because of that, because it is really like
it's
a part
bonded
of it.
in, yeah.
Right. So it's great for exterior use.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit typically more expensive than a powder coat finish because the process is a little bit more intense.
It is, but it's worth it though.
Right.
And
and like you said, the texture of the metal will show through the PVD finish.
Yeah, which is also nice if that's what you're going for. Do you want to see the brush texture? Or whatever texture it is, if it's hammered or anything, you can see it through that because it becomes really part of the metal.
Right.
But the thing I've heard about PVDing is that the process, you have to have a chamber, and is that what it's called? The chamber, I
Sure,
think.
yeah.
I mean, maybe it's not a chamber, I think it's a chamber, but
you can think of it as a chamber. We need to have
a dungeon. Right. It's a dungeon.
Now we're going.
No.
We're going to a dark place.
So in the chamber, you have to be able to fit the entire piece of what you're PVDing, and if you don't have a large enough I'm going to go chamber, you don't have a large enough chamber, then you have to, it's not like powder coating where you could kind of run through it and spray it over, like you have to, it has to be encompassed or engulfed or whatever,
Yeah, so you're typically limited on size of piece that you need.
Yeah, or if somebody does have that big of a, facility or whatever, like again, it's expensive, so. Right.
Typically with door hardware though, that's not a problem.
Because
we have such small things that you could
I know, but I just,
It's good for the people to know.
It is good. This is informative. It's not just about our products. I want them to know about everything in the world.
That's right.
But yeah, the interesting thing about PVDing is, like how we were saying powder coat has RAL codes. PVD doesn't have that type of code reference. So you can really change it slightly, and most PVD, like the blacks, are called charcoal or gunmetal, but they're really kind of interchangeable between manufacturers.
Yeah, I mean, it varies. It depends, right? Charcoal doesn't mean the same thing as,
not to everybody.
RL 9004 is the same thing no matter
what
who you're talking to. Yeah, charcoal could be
there's a little interpretation.
Gunmetal is, which is nice, which I think is kind of interesting. It makes it like, ooh, what is their charcoal look like?
It totally look like? It totally does. It makes it a little bit difficult to match things up if you have to physically see them to kind of match them up. But it does make it cool. It makes each manufacturer have a little bit of an interpretation, which is nice.
Finish,
so it's unique, it's nice, and it's super, super durable, which is awesome. And then I think the next kind of group of black finishes are just like natural living finishes,
which is like higher up on the uniqueness scale.
It is, that's like super unique, because everything is different. Even within a manufacturer's run of the same finish, when you have a living finish like dark bronze, but like we have black chrome with Halliday Baillie, it changes over time.
Changes with use,
with the season. It really is like when they say living, like they're not kidding. You know what I mean? Like it really modifies and changes itself, and it's nice. I like it.
Again, if that's what you're going for.
Yeah, it totally depends on what you're going for.
Depends on the design. If you want something to be consistent, look the same now as it does, 10 years from now.
Yeah.
that's not the way to go.
See, I feel like that would be really modern, like having something powder coated and flat. But like if you're doing more of an industrial, worn down look,
Right.
a living finish could lend itself to that
Mm-hmm.
a bit, more nicely,
Right.
and it just will, like as metal rusts, like this will change, like it will
Right.
eventually kind of wear down, and it's a beautiful finish. It's just difficult to match up together.
Right. It is.
But it's super durable too, though, because again, it's part of
It's the metal.
the metal, yeah.
Right.
And the texture is there.
Mm-hmm. Right. You'll have texture on it as opposed to a powder coat
Yeah.
finish where it will be sort of glossed over.
Yeah. So that's kind of the three main categories of finishing when it comes, well, all finishing, but specifically when it comes to black finishing.
Mm-hmm.
And we've gotten requests from our dealers that, and
What are they saying?
they want to know, I'll tell you,
Yeah,
I hear it all the time. They want to know how to match up across the manufacturers that we supply, what
Right.
goes with what.
Right.
And it's not easy unless you physically have it in front of you. So
Right.
we're going to touch on it with each manufacturer. Of course, call us or email us at bridgeportworldwide.com or
Right.
info@bridgeportworldwide.com, and we'll talk
Right.
about it a bit more. But
Right.
as far as like the powder coating finishes that we carry, what do you believe goes together the most or matches the best?
Right. Yeah. Just to touch on that, like
Yeah.
getting a physical sample is always the best way
It
to
is,
see.
yeah.
Because then you can actually see.
It's hard when you're looking at a picture.
Right, pictures.
Everyone's resolution's different, and
But in general, right,
Yeah.
the Texas hinge, right, this is an RAL 9005.
yes, it
powder
is.
coat, right? So that's the same finish as the D-line
It is same powder coat.
finish.
Yeah.
Same
That's
color.
what's so good about RALs. It's
Right.
just like across the board.
Right.
You know.
Now, Formani uses 9004, which
Yeah.
is slightly different,
Yeah.
but they still are pretty close.
Yeah. When you hold them up together, and this is where a picture is going to pop up right here, it looks really, really nice together.
Mhm.
Although it's a slightly different code, they're just like they're right next to each other, and
Right.
they look beautiful together.
Yeah, they
And
really
they
do.
all kind of have that same, as David said, like very, continuous, finish to them. So
Right.
it's nice.
So what else? What else do we
Oh,
got?
so Tectus matches with Formani, which matches with D-Line, but then there's
Oh.
also Halliday Baillie.
Right.
Now this is an electro black ace, so it's a
Right.
different type of powder coating, but it still lends itself again really well to the other black powder coats.
It's a pretty good match.
It's amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
No, they look great together.
They look good next to each other, so imagine if they're
Yeah.
in different rooms in the same project.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
yeah.
not a problem.
No, not at all. No. And it's nice that we have that type of consistency throughout the manufacturers that, because you don't always need the same hardware in every room. Sometimes you want to, you need a lever, and then you want a flush pull and you're a pocket door,
Right.
and it's nice that you're able to transcend different applications.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
I sound so smart today.
Just today? Every day. Every day. Cess also, right?
Oh, Cess, yeah, Cess
Right.
does what for us?
They do profile cylinders.
And locks.
And locks.
Yeah.
Right. And they're coming out with a new black finish.
Yeah.
That is
which
going to be very close to the powder coating.
Yeah,
that
I'm
we've already
pumped
seen.
about this. I'm
Yeah.
super pumped about this.
So we've seen like a little sample, but
Yeah.
that'll be coming later this year.
Yeah, it's gonna be introduced soon. Our friends from Cess visited us recently, and they showed us the new samples, and we're very excited. And it matches again amazingly with everything we just talked about, which
Right.
is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
now it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Powder coat.
Powder coat.
Now
PVD.
to PVD.
Right.
PVD's tough.
Yeah, well, again, because it's
different,
different.
yeah.
But we've seen that the charcoal from D-Line matches pretty close with the gunmetal
Yeah.
from Formani.
Which is really interesting. You would think, because D-Line has a gunmetal too. They're both
Right.
beautiful.
Right.
But you would think gunmetal and gunmetal would match up. I have the hiccups now because I'm drinking. But, but they're...
But not necessarily. This
No.
is why you need. This is not why you need to call Jessica and get a physical sample.
Yeah. Their charcoal and their gunmetal, D-Line and Formani respectively, look amazing together. And
Right.
again, every room is different. Maybe you want a D-Line lever in one room, and then Formani has amazing flush pulls and all sorts of accessories, and you
Right.
want them to match up, and it's a great way to do it. Now then, like I hate to say the redheaded stepchild, but is the metal plated? I mean, again, that doesn't really necessarily lend itself to
matching.
Yeah, right. That's a tough one, but that's the uniqueness of it.
That's why you get it. Right? Yeah. You want it to be unique. Yeah. You're looking for maybe the same color palette, but not exact matching.
And yeah, when you have a natural.
And again, it's right. It's living, right? It's gonna vary over time. So
it is.
It's not gonna match. Even if it matches when it's installed 5 years from now.
That's true. It's like people that like unlacquered brass, and the way that changes over time. It's the same thing with like a living black finish.
Right.
And there's like undertones and different things that will, if you have red you want to match, like it could pull from that natural undertone of the black. So it's just it evolves.
It's all about design and what you need for your project.
Yeah, and we got it all here, so we wanted to.
That is the nice thing, right?
It
we
is.
have this variation that we can be able to. Okay, what are you looking for?
Yeah.
We forgot to mention our little.
Oh, we forgot to talk about anchor locks too.
Yeah.
So we have a little friend here called the Hooky. I call it the Hooky, but it's the Hooky Zero, and it's from a great Italian manufacturer, and they do a beautiful black powder coat that again matches really, really well with the other powder coats that we sell. And they do these cute little sliding pocket door sets that hook and latch, which is really nice. And it comes in this little compact kit, and it's awesome. And then we were talking about Accurate before, and Accurate does a US 19, which is again metal black finish, and that shows the texture really, really well.
We're going to show close-ups of these.
Yeah, later. But they also do a powder coated, which is nice. So you have the option to pick.
Options. We're always about.
We're just full of options here at Bridgeport Worldwide.
I know.
So.
It's great.
I know.
And so many black options and different finishes, and again,
it's
sort of like, what are you looking for? What are you looking to achieve with your project?
It's tough trying to match.
Call us and
try. We'll help you. We're talking over it now. But we're just saying it's tough trying to match blacks. But David's absolutely right. Call us and let us know, and we'll help you out. And I guess that's it.
That's it.
Gay black. We love.
We love black.
All right, till next
time. Thanks, everybody.
Bye. See ya.